We live in a very purposeless pandemic. Majority of people wake up like accidents. Majority of people get up in the morning, go to their 9 to 5 job, come back home, scroll through social media for 2 hours, get hung up, wake up in the morning, do the same thing over and over again. And that repetitive cycle is mostly responsible for your depression because you feel like you have no purpose. You feel like there's nothing that gets you excited about life. The only time you're most excited is because you have something to look forward to, which is the whole idea of purpose. Purpose is that thing you have to look forward to. That thing that excites you to be alive. Unfortunately, most of the younger generation find it through hedonistic route. You would agree with me that the most exciting time for you this year was when you wanted to attend that party, when you were about to get that new phone, when you were about to make that new luxury purchase. That expectation made every single thing you're doing, from going to that 9 to 5 job you hate to doing the extra shift in order to make ends meet, by extension making that purchase, everything made life worth living. And when you got that purchase, you went back to that cycle because that purchase wasn't what you want. You're just using it to substitute for a larger purpose. You're just substituting that's just a component of the feeling you derive once you have something larger to pursue. Unfortunately, that is so small enough that the size, is only purpose that can fill the size of the void in your heart. So for as long as you live a purposeless life, as long as, even worse, you believe that purpose does not exist, so you substitute it with hedonistic routes and wrongful pleasures. You go to party, attend the clubs, and we all know that that does not last very long. Everyone who's tried to get high knows one thing for sure, that on a long enough period of time, that high eventually turns to a low. So for every single person going to the club, doing all this wrongful thing, harming themselves with drugs, they know that eventually that voice becomes louder as they get older. As they get older, the voice that they're trying to silence becomes louder. Unfortunately, instead of people fixing the problem, they identify themselves, they self-diagnose as depressed, which is very wrong. You're not depressed, you just lack purpose, you just lack excitement. There's nothing that gets you out of bed. So how do you go about finding this purpose? What is even purpose? I like to define things. When you define things, you know what you're dealing with. So you know the problem as opposed to something's wrong. You know what to attack. So let's define purpose. I believe purpose is your God-given assignment. That thing that you have to fulfill while you were put on this earth. The Japanese defines purpose as ikigai. Ikigai is your purpose. Whatever puts you in the state of flow. Flow simply means an activity you do without glancing at the clock every single now and then. An activity that puts you in this state of flow such that you're immersed, that you do not know that 5 hours has passed by and you enjoy doing this activity. It gives you that instant gratification you will get from wrong routes. It gives you immediately, but majority of you do not want to put the effort in finding it, or even if you have discovered it, you don't want to pay the price to do it. Talking about it doesn't mean doing the thing. Sending text about it doesn't mean doing it. Telling your friends you're going to do it doesn't mean you did it. Writing what you're going to do doesn't mean doing it. Doing it is doing it. So how do you find this purpose? Like I said, any activity that puts you in the state of flow, that you enjoy doing, that you're immersed in this activity, you can't wait to do this activity. For some of you, it might be something as trivial as gardening. Some of it might be reading. Whenever you consume content or you read a book, or you find this perfect, or you're able to conjure up analogy pertaining to this situation, something breaks out in you. You're excited whenever you make this kind of discovery, or whenever you're speaking, you make allusions to history or make reference to a material you've read. You love that kind of scenario, but it has been so stifled either by wrong environment or society in general, because society hates people that makes progress. Society hates you when you're different, because you're different. To be exceptional, you have to be exceptional. You can't fit in and be exceptional. Both of them have discomfort. Choose your discomfort. One makes you rich, the other leaves you miserable and anxious. So once you've discovered this passion, majority of you are quick to trivialize it. Oh, it's not commoditizable. When I say purpose, let me address something quickly. Hedonistic behaviors like playing video games or doing something that does not directly add value to society isn't purpose. Everybody enjoys playing video games. Everybody would enjoy smoking weed, I presume. But that is not adding any value to society. You're only entertaining yourself, pretending you're being valuable or productive, which is false. You know it as well as I do. So on the other hand, you do not trivialize your value. History is replete with people who made this same mistake as you. Remember the woman in the Bible, the late wife, the wife of the late prophet, who debtors were about to take her two sons. When she met the prophet Elijah and explained her predicament, he asked her a simple question: "What do you have in your house?" Nothing except a jar of oil. That jar of oil in which she trivialized as an exception not only took her out of debt, but she ended up living off the rest. So it changed her life entirely. Whatever you have can open doors of abundance for you. You have just not identified it, refined it, and deployed it to a targeted audience. Once you pass through these three processes, you become better. Nothing is rewarded at its crude state. I commend you for discovering your purpose, but nobody is going to reward it. Nobody is going to reward it. Crude, no one buys crude, but once it's refined, that is what cars will chew and say thank you for paying. So whatever you have in your hand, I ask you like Elijah, I come in the similitude of the prophet Elijah, and I ask you, what do you have in your house? Don't tell me nothing. Exactly. Tell me nothing. Then that exceptions, you should your attention to draw towards that thing in which you trivialize. That's one aspect. To find your purpose. It could be if you read a lot or if you love reading, see how you can commoditize that habit as opposed to entertaining yourself. You can start creating blog channels of summarizing books, or you start a YouTube channel saying, "Oh, I read X book. This is what I learned. I read 12 books on this subject. This is what I think the author got wrong. This is what," give your criticism, give feedback on every single thing. That's one aspect. However, this advice I'm about to share is very, very important. It is crucial in your journey and path to find your purpose. So please listen very attentively. It is foolish to make the same mistake as the other person. If you're finding adventure, my friend, I guarantee you that there are a lot of adventures in the journey, because the journey of success is a journey, not a destination. The path of finding your purpose is a journey, not a destination. There are so many pitfalls. If you can learn from my mistake, you wouldn't make the same mistake as me, and you find mistakes you would make or would avoid. Draw victory lessons from that and help the next person who is ascending this journey of purpose. So if your